Hello everybody. Hello. Let's switch to the display. Hello everybody, it's me, it's Andy, Decade Andy here. We're here for the Moonbase 2 podcast. Unfortunately, it's only me. No Jason, no Mr. Brad the Beans Malloy. Just poor little Andy on his own today. And surprisingly, not much Transformers news, which is a little bit sad. It's a little sad, but hopefully I can make it entertaining. I'll let you know, obviously, when we start the actual show, which shouldn't be too far off, because we don't need to wait for anybody to get the setup right. But I see the YY in the chat. Hello, did you eat all their brains? No, unfortunately, their brains are too far away from me for me to devour them. It's a real shame. I would like to suck the talent out of some of them, though, like Mr. Brad. He's quite a talented little boy, so I wouldn't mind draining his talent dry, as it were, but not in a sexual context, I should say. I just want to note that, just in case anybody takes that out of context, But like I say, we will get. Should we get the podcast going now? Maybe we should. Yeah, there's only God, how many fucking stories are there this week? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's only, 6. There's only 6 stories worth talking about this week. And even then, I was scraping the bottom of the barrel. I was scraping the bottom of the barrel for something of value there. But, what can you do? Sometimes, you just don't get any third-party news, first-party news. I don't know what to tell you, man. Sometimes that's just how it be. Anyway, let's start with the pooping. I'll roll the music. And we can get cracking with the knacking. Where's my music button? There it is. Okay. All right, here we go. Here we go this time, right? No. Why are you not working, music? It's not playing. Why isn't the music playing? Well, this is fine. I can figure out why this isn't working. Why are you not working, music? You should be. Turn it on. Stop it. Turn it on. Turn it off. Turn it on. Now it works. Now it works. Okay. All right, we'll play the music and then we'll start going. Okay, here we go. Maybe this time.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy, Decade Andy, and I am here alone on the moon. Or at least wherever I am at the moment. There is nobody here. Mr. Jason was meant to be here, but unfortunately, he's not. He's got something more important to do. I don't know what it is, but I feel it might be something nefarious. Knowing Jason's proclivities, they're probably not very good, and I didn't have time to rope in Mr. Brad, so you're stuck with me today, all alone, talking into the void, or at least to you. So, what have I been up to this week? Not a huge amount, but I can talk about that later. How am I doing this week? Fine. I'm alive. So that's a feeling. But I suppose we may as well get straight into the Transformers news, because there's no point dilly-dally, shilly-shallying around for the week. And for the people on the Twitch and the YouTubes, they need something a bit more visual than just my GIF kind of blinking in and out while I'm not and are talking, since there's obviously no human people to look at visually here. Anyway, Transformers news. It is light. It is dry as the Sahara Desert once again. So we are scraping the bottom of the barrel. I said that earlier before we started the recording, but I was not joking. So we'll kick off with the officially licensed G1 figurines, Transformer figurines, at the Dollar Tree, which I imagine is a cheapo store in America world. So you can get these 6-inch tall figures. There's an Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Megatron, Starscream, and Soundwave, because of course there is, because that's all they ever make when they make these kind of things. If you're nostalgic for G1 stuff, they're $1.25 each, so not really dollar store. It's on and around the dollar store kind of price point. I do not know how I feel. I do know how I feel about these. The Bumblebee. Let's go through them. Bumblebee. He looks fine. He's got the right amount of paint, the right amount of detail. He looks okay. His little Autobot insignia, maybe a little big, maybe a little large, but generally speaking, Bumblebee, he's fine. No articulation, just seemingly a lump of plastic in the shape of a transformer that you know from G1. Megatron, all of these guys, I might add, have really large insignias. Way too large. Megatron has a weird face. Really weird face. It's almost angular and pointy, but like a bird, like a bird's beak. It's coming out of his little bucket helmet. It's like someone Control T for transform on like a Photoshop editing software, and they had an extension point on his nose. Clicked that point and then pulled it out. So all of his features from the point of his nose got pulled inwards and outwards at the same time, if you know what I mean. It's like when you get a lump of glue, blue tack. You know blue tack, when you pinch a bit off of it and pull it out? Like that, but with his face. There's some really nasty mold lines on it as well, along the bicep and the arm, like not on the top of it, where you might not see, but facing right at you, there's a massive seam line, which is a little bit ugly. And generally the proportions, like he's got really... Megatron's, thigh to calf distribution can be a little bit wonky, but here it looks a little bit egregious. Paint, it's got the main Megatron colors, so at least it's got that rolling for it. That's something. Optimus Prime looks more like he's made out of Play-Doh than he is out of plastic. He's got very elongated ab region, and his boob windows are not painted at all. So he's got just a massive red boob, one red boob, and his head looks a little bit like, I don't know whether it's because of this image or not, but it's almost like his head has been, the classic cartoon of like you get hit by a steamroller or a car, and it's got that kind of flattened features, and everything's soft as well. So there's no hard angles on the character once they've been smushed because they've been smushed. That's kind of what I get from the face. And it gives me those vibes, which obviously is not a positive thing. He's got very, very large, not very well detailed legs, and there's obviously no yellow on his groin regions. So isn't that neat? Oddly enough, his Autobot insignia is probably the most balanced out of all of them for whatever that's worth. Woo, number 1 Prime. Rock and roll. And obviously the last one's Soundwave, with some fucking hell. It's got a really nasty mold line on his arm again, and a cut where I'm assuming they cut it off of the sprue, where the part was originally on. Lots of, again, mold sprue, seam lines on his inner thighs and all that jazz. He's in a bit more of a dynamic pose, because of course he's pressing his eject button, because that's the thing Soundwave does. This kind of looks like a cosplayer. No offense to cosplayers, but that kind of weird look that cosplayers have when they're doing robots, or some people have when they're doing robots, when it's like the first or the second attempt of doing it. It's got that kind of aesthetic going on, and yeah, that's not great. Again, missing a lot of color, and with an overinflated Decepticon insignia. All of them are coming on oh, sorry, I didn't even talk about Starscream. Yes, he has what seems to be a baguette on his chest. I know it's meant to be his cockpit, but to me it looks like a bright yellow baguette. Not really what I'd say the right colors, as he's the silver color that they've given Megatron, and they've kind of plastered that all over his body. Like his head that should be, black is silver. Yeah, once again, all of these just look like they're $1.20. They honestly do. If you are in the market for these, they're by Just Play, a highly renowned company, and they all come on card backing, which are Autobot G1 style. So they're for ages 3 and up. If you've got $1 to waste, 2, 4, 5. What was this cost? Like $5, $6, like $6, $7 to get all of them. Granted, back in the day, you could use $7 and probably get a legend scale figure. Can't do that now. But I don't know. This you could do something else with $7. Buy yourself some food. You can't get much with $7 food-wise, but you could probably get a Happy Meal or something, even though that's McDonald's. It's sure is something. Oh boy. But in terms of crappy news, we're not over yet. No siree Bobo. Because there's a Transformers, Optimus Prime, and Bumblebee converting costumes giveaway. Now, what's this all about? Well, over the official Transformers Instagram account, there's been a costume giveaway open to all fans. It's done by HalloweenCostumes.com, who I presume from the name make Halloween costumes across the website. If you enter this, you could win any of these children's-sized converting costumes made by Disguise.com, who I think we can assume do Transformers costumes. Oh, they did the Bumblebee one from ages ago. Can we just go to Disguise.com just to see their repertoire of costumes? They do adult costumes as well. Well, isn't that just dandy? They have Pokemon, live action Aladdin, live action The Lion King, How to Train Your Dragon, Kim Possible, Halo Infinite, the Lego movie, the brand new Lego movie, Descendant 3. Descendant 3? I don't know. I don't get out of here. Why is it? It takes you to the watch the latest trailers. So it's not even letting me look at the costumes. Okay, let's go for adult costumes. Let's go for men. All right, we oh god, they've got like a unisex adult Big Bird, which looks like a fucking nightmare. Look at it. It's like Big Bird ate a person. Oh god. Oh no. They have a Bowser Deluxe costume for adults, and right in time for the new movie. Again, it looks like, oh god, do you think people have sex in these? I really hope not. Gee whiz. Oh, they did the I remember talking about these movie Bumblebee outfits from ages ago. There's like 4 versions of Buzz Lightyear. 4. Why? Catboy? What the fuck's Catboy? What the fuck's a Catboy? Oh, you can dress up as a creeper. They got Cobra Kai costumes. Cryptocurrency costume, where you're in a black suit and you have a big coin on your chest. Wow, we were. Daddy Pig. Daddy Pig. Is that like a Peppa Pig thing? I don't know. I don't like it though. It seems like they've got a few franchises though. Gecko Classic. I don't know what Gecko Classic is. Is that a logo person? Yeah, so there are options. You can choose from wide varieties of costumes, but obviously the competition seems to be for the transforming costumes, as mentioned. What is the campaign all about? Well, let me read you the blurb for it. What's the call, Optimus Prime? Hashtag Fun Costumes is having... at Fun Costumes is having a Transformers giveaway. Help the out of this world kiddo. Help the out of this world kiddo in your life. I think even if I had a child, I wouldn't be calling them an out of this world kiddo. No. What's up, fellow kids? No, thank you. Join the Autobots by entering... Who wants to join the Autobots? Lame. Join the Autobots by entering their Transformers costume giveaway, whether a Optimus Prime fan or a big supporter of Bumblebee. No Megatron, no Starscream or Soundwave, though. Fuck those guys. They will be treating the winner to their choice of convertible Transformers costumes. Pictures here. So how to enter. You need to follow them at all the places. You need to drive over to at Fun Costumes and like. When it says drive over, I assume that just means you don't actually have to physically drive. I think it just means like and save their posts and their giveaway shit. Tag 2 friends. So it's going to end on Thursday, the 15th of October, and you can get one of these horrifying costumes with the awful, flat, terrible masks that I remember from my youth. It looks like the transforming parts of the costumes are done in a, I don't know, like a soft material. It's not like the cool cardboard ones that you see like people make at home, but it works the exact same way. Oh, Jesus, the close-up on Bumblebee's mask's face. They've given him Overlord lips for some reason. Yeah. Yeah, if you could... Oh, God. Is this how you hide, like, dead bodies? You make transforming adult-sized costumes and you put the dead bodies inside and you're like, no. They've just converted. They've just converted to vehicle form. I swear they're not dead. I promise. Oi. It seems like the adult is in the Optimus Prime costume. The Optimus Prime costume seems to really suffer from, like, cab droop. And I don't see a lot of articulation in the arms. Let's say that. I think you can do a better job at home, people. But, I mean, if you can get this for free... I mean, it's free. And all you have to do is, like, if you don't win, just unfollow. Right? That's what I usually do. When it's a competition, I'll wait like a month or something and be like, okay, I'll go back through my likes and who I follow and that and a lot. And then I just kind of unfollow those people because I'm like, you're doing stuff I don't really care about. I was just in there for the competition. Sorry, I saw the Optimus Prime for the side, and it is literally just like a dead body lying down with the cube of Optimus Prime's car mode on top. It's really awkward looking. Yeah, man, wow. Costumes, Halloween is coming up, people. Get ready for it. Next on the table is Hasbro's doing a Plus Premium fan stream announcement for the 27th of this month. Sorry, I was reading it in Americanese, which is month and date, not date then month, which is insane to me. It always will be. So it's going to be taking place at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. 5 p.m. 5 p.m. Eastern Time. This is what they suggest is going to happen. Hashtag Hasbro Pulse Premium members. You're invited to the 10-20... Just do 27-10. No. 10... No, yeah. 27th, 10th. Yeah, the October the 27th. I don't know why they call it the 10-27. You're invited to the 1027 Hasbro Pulse Premium fan stream happening on the October 27th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, which is what I've already read you, but this is what they say. This event is for you, using capitals, just to make sure that you know that it is for you. It's 100% for you. Definitely for you, I promise. It features new product reveals, giveaways, and access to pre-orders. Not a premium member yet? Oh, wow, what a loser. Not a Hasbro Pulse Premium member? Oh, wow, lame. Well, sign up today on hasbropulse.com/eatmyass or whatever it is. So, I don't ever like the idea of making a stream exclusive to people who've signed up to your paid premium service. To me, it seems a bit lame. Also, the fact that, let's be fair, the new product reveals, you will see inevitably, I don't know, like a couple of hours, like max a couple of hours after the thing's done, right? You're not going to be waiting long, surely. It's not going to be a real slog. Be like, wow, what did they show? It's going to be like an hour or so, and you'll be, oh, that's what they showed. Is it a shame you don't get to see it on stream? Yeah. I don't see that as a big thing. Giveaways, I mean, yeah, giveaways are fun, but I'm not sure you need to pay money to have giveaways. And access to pre-orders, early access to pre-orders, which you already technically get, you know, because you're a premium member. It just feels like a way to bully people into a service, I guess, which I luckily don't care about. I just don't like the idea of this. I've never been a fan of this kind of, like, pay to get access to news instead of, like, waiting a few hours. Like, if I was a reactionary channel, if Moonbase 2 was a reactionary channel, and we talked about stories as soon as they came out, I could see maybe some value in this, then we could live stream. But usually, to be fair, when these streams are going off, I'm having to work, so it's no good to me. But yeah, if you're around and you have a Hasbro Pulse membership, get in there, baby, and get your acting on. I don't know. Maybe they'll show some good stuff. I'm trying to think what they could show, because they've shown a lot recently. Oh, I guess they could show the leaders for the Tarn wave, right? Because we've seen the voyages of the Leo Prime and Tarn, but we don't know what the leader is, and we don't know what the next big commander is. And, you know, they got to measure up to Motormaster. Now, will there definitely be a commander? I don't know, but definitely leaders. 100% they need some leaders out there. So I guess we'll, you know, in October, we'll see what the leaders are. So that's good. Next up, this is where there's a bit more interesting news to talk about. Closer look at Transformers Earthspark toys, thanks to Sydney Oz Comic Con, which I guess was an event that happened a few weeks ago. There are multiple Bumblebees here and some other images as well. So there's an Earthspark Bumblebee size comparison. It's a shot of a group shot of Bumblebee in Tactician, One Step Deluxe, and Spin Changer size classes. Woo! Exel Hedge in the comments says it's Armada Prime and you know it. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yes. I completely forgot it would be an Armada Optimus Prime. And it probably won't be, people are saying, like, if it is that Prime, I remember people speculating it will be a downscaled version. And by downscaled, I mean made cheaper than the one we saw like 10 years ago at this point. But that is a good point. Thank you, XL Hedge, for keeping me on the straight and narrow. So there's images of the Bumblebees all lined up. I'll go through the images here so you can all see them on stream. There's an Earthspark Deluxe Twitch being the new character who we've got, the flying drone. What's to say? According to information shared by Griff of Oz, this toy should be in American stores in about 2 weeks' time. Oh, wow. Okay, that's not too far. She's part of the Dr. Mandroid builder figure. That's right, they're doing the Dr. Mandroid thing. So you buy all the figures and you get a human character. So that's cool. In this wave, if you didn't know, it'll be Bumblebee, Megatron, Terran Switch. I wonder why they're calling it Terran. Oh, Twitch. Terran Twitch. Is she called Terran Twitch because of licensing? Or is that like a hint that we're going to get other versions of Twitch? I don't know. Optimus Prime will be in there. Shockwave will be in there. Grimlock, Grimlock, but with an M at the end of his name, which I think is a spelling mistake. And Nightshade, they're going to be there. The first 5 are early 2023, while the last 2 are early 2023, and the last 2 are late 2023. So Grimlock and Nightshade we haven't seen yet, and I don't think we've seen them even in clips for the show yet, strangely enough. What else is there? Earthspark, Tactician, Optimus Prime, and Bumblebee. They're the simple one-step changer toys, which I always rag on. There's the one-step flip changer wheeljack, and an Optimus Prime and a leader one. So, in terms of the Bumblebee lineup, I think you can tell which ones are the... I don't know, if you're a Transformers collector, which one you'd probably go for, and the other 3 that you probably wouldn't. The big Bumblebee is interesting, but that one looks like the one you get for your young kid who you don't want to, like, swallow a Transformer. The deluxe one looks cheaper than, you know, the mainline Transformers that we've seen before, and it looks like the budget that they're going to be putting into this line is going to be similar to that of what they put in for Cyberverse, I'm assuming, just looking at the Bumblebee. I'll be happily wrong, though. Terran is Earthborn. Yes, Terran is Earthborn. The other 2 Bumblebees, the next Bumblebee in the scale size, looks like he's using a different yellow plastic completely. If you look at the 3 Bumblebee, the 4 Bumblebees together, the big one has like a nice, rich, vibrant kind of orange, like that you'd have in an orange juice. Same for the next one, and then the next Bumblebee, the next 2 Bumblebees have this more like lemon yellow, a sickly yellow, which, you know, I shouldn't be shocked, but there you go. You get to see them from the side. Oh, I didn't even say about the smallest one. You could barely tell he's Bumblebee. He looks nothing like any of the other ones. He looks like he's meant to be a completely different Bumblebee with a completely different mode. He doesn't look the same. These things are not the same. From the back, the big one's obviously hollow as shit. I will give that, for the most part, the deluxe Bumblebee doesn't look horrifically hollow from the back, at least from the one shot that we've got from behind. He does have hollow forearms, which isn't a surprise, but his the back of his legs, his calves, are filled out or filled in a little bit, not massively, due to his tires kind of going in the gap there. They showed them all lined up in vehicle mode, and again, the smallest one looks more like a little shoe with wheels than it does like a car that anyone would drive, which, you know, it's a thing. But I wouldn't be surprised. You get to see them from underneath as well. And it looks like the deluxe is going to be pretty simple in terms of its transformation, which no shock there. So, Terran Twitch, we see them in box. Do we see them out of box? We see packaging of Dr. Mandroid. You might say might look like Chris McFeely. I don't know. I think this is the first time for packaging where they've actually put the human characters at the forefront of the packaging, which I'm not sure why, because I have a feeling you're not going to get figures of these. Maybe you will. Maybe you will get figures of the human characters. But I remember specifically being a kid and never once thinking, man, I really want a Spite Witwicky or a Spark Plug or any of the other humans. Not even Burger, Mayor Burger, who wanted two cities. I didn't even want a figure of him. I just wanted the robots. I still remember being a kid and never caring about the human characters. And I don't know if young Transformer fans of today have ever really cared about humans in the shows, because the show's not meant to be about them, but there's always this huge focus on them from a writing standpoint for some reason. Because you gotta feel for the characters. I can empathize with the robots because they should be well written. And I'm not a monster. I can empathize with creatures that have human traits. And even like animals. Like you can empathize with a dog because it's cute. Come on now. We get to see Twitch out of box. Looks like no wrist articulation, I'm assuming. An interesting shape, I suppose. I don't know how I generally feel about Twitch. It's different. I'll give it that. The Megatron being deluxe size, again, just feels, to me, wrong. It just doesn't seem to be right. Oh, they've actually blocked out the images for I guess the figures that weren't on display but were on the back of the box. Have just... It's not as bad, if you remember, back in the day when they used, like, a pen to scribble it out. This is more like just big black boxes. Which is, again, kind of sad. They seem to be putting their very small Transformers in full boxes, which is maybe what they should be doing in general, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. The Optimus Prime one, again, kind of looks a little bit lame. But it's similar to Bumblebee. I guess these one-step transforming micro figures. They're there. Why? Why? One of the images has I'm guessing the way you transform these seems to be you press down and apart and they flip up, and there's a gap in between their legs where you can clearly shove your middle finger, and someone there has put Bumblebee on the middle fingers, flipping as the bird. So that's fun. See the Wheeljack figure. I'm not sure if this is the first time we've seen the Wheeljack CGI model on the packaging. He's got some cues of the Prime Wheeljack about him, but generally, looks fine. I mean, the toy looks a bit wank. As in robot mode, he has absolutely no paint detail. In robot mode, he's white and blue, and you might be like, oh, hey, ooh, Andy, that's Wheeljack's color scheme. I'd be like, that's fair, but he's also got yellow. He's also got red and green on him, which has been stripped completely out of his chest. He's got a red streak on his mohawk. And that's about it. It's looking a little bit rough. Bit on the rough side. But hey ho, what can you do? I suppose. Yeah, to me, once again, this toy line looks like it's going to be the cheapy one. They're not putting... do you remember when we had animated and stuff like that, and they still put in a decent amount of money into the toy line for the shows and the... in quotations, the more adult-focused collector line. I guess since Cyberverse, or maybe it was before that. Maybe it was the RID show, the one that preceded Prime. Maybe they just stopped doing it. There's an RC figure. She's there. I don't know if this is the deluxe one or not. She looks fine, very pink. And there was an Optimus Prime as well. Let's go back to see what is this, because it's not in the deluxe box. It's in a very wasteful packaging box where it's like 90% cardboard here in robot mode. It's one of these long boxes. Why not have her in vehicle mode and just fill out the sides of the box? I don't know. It doesn't look great. But there you go. That's us. That's Elita 1. That's the Earthspark figures. I guess we'll see more as they come out. It's got an image here on the packaging where it seems to suggest that Elita 1 will have an action feature where she can swing her arm down. Cool. For a robot that has a gun, swinging your arm down doesn't strike me as a really cool action feature. Excuse me, but I'm crazy. Excel Hedge, because animated was the main line and Generations was the sideline. Maybe we need to go back to that. Maybe we need to put more focus into the promotion of Transformers versus the G1 of Transformers. I don't know. But you could be right. That could be the reason. In terms of new figures for the fans, the men, the lads, we've got Buzzworth, the Earth Mode, Hound, and Dark of the Moon Hatchet. Hatchet, who I used in the image for this week's show, because he looks like Jaws. I don't remember Hatchet looking exactly like this, but I did see someone do a digibash of Hatchet into, what's his name? The Fusor from Beast Wars, who had gold plastic syndrome, who was the whale and the elephant, I think. Tuska dude, that guy. It worked quite well, to be honest. I was like, oh no, that works. And Earth Mode Hound is exactly what it says on the tin. It's Hound and his Earth Mode. There are no images of Talker. Thank you, Axel Hedge. Yes, Talker. There are no images of these guys in the vehicle mode. It is just one CGI image. I assume it's CGI because it kind of doesn't look real. So we don't know what they look like in the vehicle mode, but I think you can assume what Hound's going to look like. I think maybe we can assume that Hound maybe will get a redo into the desert version, the Decepticon guy. And if he does, maybe he'll go in the Velocitron line and Hound will stay here in the Buzzworthy line. I don't know. I'm just taking a guess. And yeah, I don't know. Because it's a design from a movie I don't care about. This was one of the Dreadlock guys, wasn't he? Wasn't this one of the guys from the... Sorry, when I say these guys, I mean Hatchet. Wasn't Hatchet one of the guys from... was it Dark of the Moon? Well, no, it was Dark of the Moon, where Michael Bay reused a shot from The Island. Is it that scene? I think it is that scene. If you didn't know, Michael Bay reused a shot from a movie he did earlier called The Island, and then just changed the special effects to have Transformers in it versus, I don't know, whatever car explodey woo-woo nonsense he had going on before. In terms of a design, it looks okay. He's got a lot of back kibble, which is clearly all of his like roofing and car side windows stuck on top of his back. If that was a removable piece, I think that would be quite nice, because otherwise it's just a lot of gubbins hanging up on the top of his head, which again is a little awkward. I hope he has a movable mouth. That would be nice. In terms of Hound, he's got his G1 gun. Apart from that, it's Hound. It's it looks fine. It looks like what you would want from a Hound figure, I would say, in this day and age. He's got his gun. He's got a stoic face. He's got hands to touch Spike and rub his back. Two bipedals, and this one was the quadruped. Okay, yeah, that's right. Thank you, Axel Hedge. Yeah, it is the scene I remember then. In terms of how this is going to transform, he's probably going to be fine. I don't know if he's a remold or anything, or what he could be remolded in, but clearly he could have been a figure that was in Earthrise and then just got pushed back, and maybe he was meant to be for Kingdom, but then obviously Kingdom's done, and so into the Buzzworthy line you go, my little Hound friend. And yes, we are already at the end of the news. I told you it was like this week. I told you it's going to unfortunately be a very short show, which I apologize for. So we have an announcement for TF Nation 2023. So it's going to be happening the 11th of August to the 13th of August as well. I'll read the blurb that they post up here as well. We promise we do our best for you. It's taken a little energy and a lot of work. Do you get it? It's a reference to the transform. Yep. Okay. But we're delighted to confirm TF Nation will return in 2023. TF Nation 2023 will be rolling out from the dates I mentioned before at the same place as it's always been, the Birmingham Hotel Metropole in Birmingham, Hotel Metropole in Birmingham, Metropole Hotel, UK. Announcements regarding tickets, guests, and discounts, bedrooms will follow as we move forward. So it's literally just, it's happening 11th to 13th of August. As usual, I can't go anywhere, so I can't go to this. But if you have the power and the passion, you should go, you know? Seeing people is a good thing. Having fun with people at conventions is good. And hopefully it will be another good one. I think most people who went to TF Nation this year had a good time, I think. Not entirely sure. I think from what I hear from Brad, because Brad went, I remember him having a good old time. And that's it. That is the news for the week, I'm afraid, everybody. So I guess we move on to what I've been up to this week. And the only thing I've really been doing is painting. And I've slapped on screen things I have been painting. I took some nice photos of them, or nicer photos of them. And it was just stuff from the Cursed City, which is a Warhammer Age of Sigmar game. That came out a while ago and had a lot of bad release schedule. I decided to paint them up. I showed the skeletons I did. I can't remember how long ago. Managed to get around spray and do a few other guys. So this is one of the special characters. I did break off one of his little bits protruding from his shoulder. There's meant to be like another skull on there, but it snapped off. So I could have glued it back on, but I was like, it's fine. We've got some dudes from the Crimson Court, another vampire dude. I got the what these guys called, the zombie ogres done as well, which I was quite happy about. If you wondered what I've been using for the basing stuff, I watched a video and a dude said, you know the coconut fiber that you get for like reptile houses and like spider housing and stuff like that, the big brick of shit, and you break it up and you throw it in their enclosure, their confinement, their prison cell. It's basically that. You just kind of scrumple it up, rub it between your fingers, and then just kind of scatter it on the base once you've got some PVA glue on there, and then you do another PVA glue on the top. And because it's got these little bits of coconut strands in there, they look like bits of dead grass, kind of give it a nice earthy texture, which is kind of what I was hoping for. I was like, oh wow, the dude was right, it looks great for earthy fabric, and you don't need to paint it because it looks like dirt, because it is dirt. So it's like, oh well, shit. I was quite happy about that. I got there's one guy from the Crimson Court I didn't get done, but I got the other 3 done. I need to get the reason I didn't get the final one done is he needs to have his paint stripped, and then I need to go and redo him again because I did him in a different color scheme. So that was other stuff that I did this week. I went through a couple of like zombies, a couple of zombies and a couple of skeletons and a couple of other characters, and just threw them in paint stripper kind of goo. And it, the goo process is a while because you have to wait about an hour or so, and then you have to go in with a toothbrush and scrub the goo off of them. With this figure that I've got on screen, she was a exclusive model, not like an exclusive character, but an exclusive model. And I thought, how about we use a bit of scenery to give her some fancy backing? And we got some more characters as well. And a skeleton captain as well from, again, the Grave Gods for the Cursed City set. That's been pretty much what I've been up to this week. Painting that stuff. I've been building a few other Warhammer kits. Haven't finished them yet because I've been running out of glue, as is the way of things. I got 3 bottles of PVA glue. So, of course, I did the Addle Thin, and I got, like, a big old glollop of PVA glue and spread it on my finger, let it dry, and then peeled it off, because You know, I hadn't done that since I was a kid, and I was like, I have to do that. Oh, as well, chat, if you've got any Transformer questions or any questions you want to ask me, start slapping them down now. So then by the time I finish talking about my nonsense, I'll be able to hopefully move on to questions. If you don't have any questions, that's A-okay. That's A-okay, don't worry about it. But I just remembered, I should probably say that first. Yeah, if you've got any questions, just throw them in chat and I can get to them. But yeah, 3 big balls of PVA glue. I got another tub of the bio stripper, which is my paint remover stuff. What was the other thing I got in the package? It was my brick. It was my brick of dirt. not very exciting things that came in the post. But I got Gorilla Glue as well. All these things that are necessary for making models and stuff, but not like they're not super exciting kind of deal. It's like I need them. I need them for things. Anything else? Yesterday we did a stream with Mr. Jason, because Jason was actually free yesterday, but not today. And he played on the closed beta of Dark Tide, the Warhammer 40,000 game Dark Tide, which is, if you don't know, it's a Left 4 Dead styled game. So that's basically what that is. It looks quite fun. If I can get into the open beta, I'll probably stream that. I wouldn't mind doing that because, you know. Apparently it's really popular on Twitch as well at the moment. The closed beta, at least. I don't know whether that'll carry over to the big boy game when it gets fully released or not. But I was like, okay, sure, why not? So I watched him play that. We've nearly finished... Well, we finished the main story of Neo 2, and I've moved on to the DLC, or what I assume was the DLC for Neo 2. And I've got those 3 to do. Because I was like, I'm done with Neo 2. We're done. Not like I was like hoping to finish it and rush it. I was like, we're done. Okay, well, fair enough. And it's like, no, sir, you've only just begun. Like, well, all right then. Okay. So I got more Neo to play. And we've been playing Total War Warhammer as well with that. Well, I've been playing Total War Warhammer with my mod for my chat usually, which is Daddy. And that's been a good old time. In terms of watching, I've just been watching Transformers Prime because I was on that kind of grind for like waiting for a new episode of an anime to come out. I was like, okay, well, I'll just watch Transformers Prime. So I'm on to season 3 at the moment. I've luckily got past all of the nonsense of season 2, and there's a lot of like head shaky, like why? There's so much wasted potential for Prime. But season 3 really picks up. I like season 3. I think it's neat. We've got Ultra Magnus in there. And we got the Predaking going around doing stuff as well. It's like, yeah. It's still one of my more preferred Transformer series. Even though it has massive flaws in it, which make me sad from the loss of potential that they were sitting on. And either they weren't allowed to capitalize on. They either weren't allowed to do it, or they actively avoided capitalizing on the interesting storytelling aspects. I don't know which it was, but either way, it was disappointing. I've been tempted to watch, because it's free on one of the Freeview channels, The Rise of Skywalker, because I've never seen it, but I've heard it's a nightmare. I'm like, maybe I should watch The Nightmare, just so I know, just so I understand why this is a horror that must be seen, you know? I don't know. We did a podcast with Gruff last week for the Fluff and Hammer. I didn't mention that then. I'd mention it now. And has there been anything else? No, I got a tire pressure warning on my car that stopped me going to see friends this week. That fucking sucked. Especially since it was like a job which was done in a few seconds. The only benefit was it wasn't anything serious. It was just they had to fill up the tires with more air. I was like, how much did that cost? And I went, don't worry about it. I was like, hey, I thought this was going to be like 150 to 200 pounds I'm going to have to waste today. Thankfully, it wasn't. I was very pleased about that because I wasn't really liking the idea of dropping that much money because I was prepared, you know. I know what garages are like. Hello, Big Swingin' D. Welcome. If you have any Transformer questions, poop them through because we're pretty much at the end of the show because there was no news. There was no news this week, I'm afraid. It was absolutely stinking dry, baby. The only other thing I've really done this week is I've made a gentleman's agreement with Big Swing and D, who's picking up the Kill Team box. What was it? Shadow Vault? I think it's Shadow Vault. It's Shadow something. and he's going to be keeping the Imperial Guard characters and I guess all the scenery, and I'm going to be getting the Necron boys. I think we worked out an okay price for it for the most part. I think he's getting a good deal, because I'm going to be paying like the standard price for getting a kill team, so he should be getting a discount from me taking away that amount from the overall box, so that's good for him. And I get the Necron boys, so that's good for me. Got Minerva yet? I do not have Minerva yet. I'm in no rush to get it, because if I was going to get Minerva, I'd have to wait for her to get on a discount. In terms of like, yeah, because you gotta remember, Big Swing and D, what I'm after at the moment is I need to start saving a little bit of money. I need to put a little bit of money aside each month, because I spend all that money. I spent like $400 on the new camera, which I still haven't had time to look at yet, but I need to do that. I need to put money aside for that. I've got the set that I've got to give money for you to. I've had to pick up glue today because I've run out of the rest of my crappy GW glue, which is good because now I can move on to the Tamiya glue. Thank God. I can get the nice Tamiya glue in its nice spreadable little brush pots rather than the funnel filters. The funnels on my GW glue pots dried out really quickly. Well, not really quickly, but the little metal rod where the glue would come through would frequently get jammed. So I got to a point where I just pulled it out and went, no, I'll just squirt it on. I'll just squirt that shit on. Tamiya Extra Thin and Deluxe Plastic Magic are great. I went for the Tamiya Extra Thin. I got 2 of them from Amazon for like 11 quid for free postage. I was like, oh, that'll do, fuck it. 2 for 11 quid, that doesn't sound like a bad deal. And I get a free postage. I don't need to spend extra money. Rock and roll. I'm glad for that. And I've also got to worry as well about well, I don't have to worry, but I am worried that the Chaos set is going to be coming out soon, the Slaves to Darkness set, which I'd like to pick up. I'd like to pick up that Slaves to Darkness set at some point when it comes out. Hopefully I'll have the money for it, but who knows. Yep, scenery goes in the box. The Kaskrin kickstart a new guard army. That's true. She's nifty. You have Minerva? Because Big Swing and D, because I know Mikey, I think Mikey picked up, did Mikey get Minerva or leader? I'm not sure. I think Mikey might have picked up one of them at some point, but I'm not entirely sure. I was using Humbrol, but now I'm using the Sprue Goo now. The Sprue Goo. Oh, that for Sprue Goo. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't need to worry about that anymore at this point. But yeah, there's a few things I need to kind of save money up for, and hopefully I'll get the money in time for them. One of the guys in the Facebook group gave me the heads up that ID were back in stock. Oh, in demand toys. So I took a punt. That's fair. The only Transformers I'm really wanting to get at the moment that are 100% out. I want to get Jahaxus, I want to get Tarantulas, and I want to get Motormaster. Those are the ones that are obviously currently out. If more come out, there are a few more that I want to get in the future, but currently those are the only 3 that I want that are out. But Motormaster's too much at the moment for my blood. Jahaxus is on the sale, but he's still £30, and that kind of makes my face frown as well. And Tarantulas is like 23 from the store, or it's 22, I think, from In Demand Toys. Excuse me. And then you have to do postage on top of that, so it still becomes expensive. So I'm like, Motormaster is down to 90 at Smith, so should drop further. Yeah, I'm thinking that I don't think it'll drop as low as like Hot Rod or Rodimus did. I don't think it'll go like to 50 or 40, but I think it will get to like. I'd prefer not to pay 80 for it. I'd like to pay like 60 to 70 for Motormaster if I can wait that long. I hope it's going to drop to that kind of price point. I really do, because like I say, I'm not spending 100. There's no way. You got to give me a hand job if you're going to make me spend £100 on Motormaster, I swear to God. 90 is still a little bit rich for my blood. I'd like it a little bit less. 60 to 70 is a more realistic price. Yeah, exactly. 60 to 70, to me, that I think for what you're getting, 60 to 70 is a lot more fair. And should be the price of what they're going for. But they have to make their record prices, so or profits, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I did nab one of those cheap Black Zareks off the Entertainer, though. Ah, nice. I didn't, just on the basis that I went, okay, I need to get the camera. The camera's 400. Will I regret not having a Black Zarek? Yeah, to be honest, I'll be a little bit sad that I don't have the Black Zarek. But in another sense, I'll be happy because it takes up, it takes up a lot of room. That's a big fucking figure. So it's maybe not a terrible idea that I don't have it, just to save on space. Oh, I see Mr. White. Mr. White says, so nice to hear someone else once got told I wasn't fit to represent the community because I didn't pronounce it G-axis. I just say Jahaxis. I don't know what the correct way to... It's a stupid name. It's not Megatron. It's not Optimus Prime. It's not Cartron. It's not Leador 1 or Bot Boy. It's a weird one. It's a Simon Furman name. So I just say Jahaxis. I don't know. If someone said I'm not a real fan, I'd be like, well, I don't read the shitty comics, so get screwed. I was never a Marvel comic person, so I don't really care. Though, I am the person that says Thanos, I'm not Thanos. I'm like, what are you doing? Thanos? No, Thanos. Thanos. It sounds better. Thanos sounds like Anos. And then it sounds like anal. Thanos. Thanos doesn't sound like Anos. That's why I say to that. I have 4 different Titans all boxed up. Damn, big swinging D. Say it like it's spelt. But he's right. Here's the thing about saying the words how they're spelt. Sometimes language, whether in English or otherwise, sometimes a word isn't how it looks. You say a word differently from how it looks. Because language is sometimes really stupid. And I don't know whose fault it is. But I feel bad for people who have to learn English who are not English themselves. Because it's a stupid language that doesn't make sense. This was after I pronounced Jahaxis with an H on a comic review. Oh, was this back in the day when you used to do the Underbase, Mr. White? Was this all the way back then in the yesteryears? Perhaps it was. This is how we're filling out the podcast, folks. I'm chatting with chat. So if you want to come and chat with me or the guests or any of the other hosts, you can come on to the Decade Andy Twitch channel or the Moonbase 2 YouTube channel. Moonbase 2 Transformers podcast, and at 8 o'clock-ish UK time in the evening on a Sunday night, you can come and you can talk Transformers. I thought I'd get that slid in there while I can. Hey there, here's a question. Do we think Hasbro will do Leader Class Swoop and Snarl for the Studio Series? I think that they'll do at least Snarl. I wouldn't be surprised if they did Swoop as a deluxe. But they will all come. I'm pretty sure Hasbro said they were definitely all coming. I can't remember if they said one of them was going to be a smaller scale. I can't remember. Hello, Orange. Welcome. I would definitely say that Snarl's going to be a leader at some point. They just haven't announced when. Maybe during this Hasbro Premium event, right? That's coming up on the 27th. Maybe that's when they'll finally reveal at least another Dinobot. When was the last Dinobot announced or came out? Does anybody know in chat? Swoop as a deluxe would be way too hollow. He's a tall boy. That is true. I could see them doing it though, just to try and get a scale in right, just to make him small in terms of Dinobot scale. But again, if they made him the same size as everybody else, whatever. It's not a big deal for me. For a comic, Mr. White says, for a comic... Hang on, let me scroll back up. For a comic I didn't want to review. Funnily enough, we never reviewed another issue again. What was the comic, Mr. White, out of interest? I need to know now what the comic was. Orange says, he's at least as tall as Optimus Prime. Okay, then maybe they will just do him the same scale as everybody else. I finally grabbed Slug for not so insane prices this month as well, so need to finish the set. Damn, man. Yeah, I think a lot of people are really gagging to get the rest of the Dinobots, because most people have them now, right? Most people have the Dinobots. I think a lot of people want to get the rest of them and be like, there we go, there's the set, it's done. And you know what would be really sad? if the Legend Scale figures came out before the the rest of the Studio Series figures came out. That would be really depressing, I think. At least if you're a Dinobot fan collector. Orange says it was Sludge early this summer. Oh, summertime. Okay, so yeah, maybe it is about time that they announced another one. He'd be at least Voyager. That's fair. And they have a unified scale to mind. I have all 3 Dinobots so far. They look amazing next to each other. Snarl is my favorite. Can't wait for him. Yeah, I would imagine they'll do Swoop last, because a lot of people don't care about Snarl. You know? I don't hate Snarl. It's just Snarl's the one that everybody forgets about. People go Grimlock. I think people like Swoop second most. Then they probably like Slag. Then probably Sludge, and I'd say last is Snarl. Why do I say Snarl last? Because he wasn't in the movie. Or he was, but not for a lot of the movie. That's my guess. Don't. I'm really worried about that. Don't be worried, Big Swing and D. The comic was Regeneration 1, says Mr. White. Oh, no. Oh. I can't remember if that was a good... I don't think that was meant to be a good comic, was it? I can't remember offhand. I wasn't interested in it. But then again, it was, based on the Marvel G1 comics, which, like I've said many, many times over, aren't my jam. I just don't care about them. They're just not for me. Orange says, he being a Voyager, meaning swoop. Swoop. Snarl will definitely be a leader. Yeah, I would imagine so. Well, he's got to be the same scale as all the other ones. But yes, sorry, I forgot that all of them were leaders. Yeah, making Swoop a Voyager would make sense, I suppose. Does anybody else have any questions they want to throw out? If not, we can end the Poopcast. Let me get out where you can find me on the internet, and then we'll see if anybody else has any questions. So, if you want to find me on the internet, you can find me on at Decade Andy on Twitter. On Decade Andy on YouTube, on Twitch. You can find this on this podcast on Moonbase 2 forums, on Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. We're in a lot of places like Spotify and stuff as Moonbase 2, so you can find us that way as well. We should be back next week with at least one more Memblob. If you ask me where Mikey is, I don't know. I think he's still setting up. So hopefully Mike will return soon, but I don't think it's going to be for the next few weeks still, so don't worry about that. And if you want to go to the ccbunker.weebly.com, you can go and get the show there. We'll also do the Patreon show, which is patreon.com/moonbase2, and if you do $2 each month, you get the extended version of From the Files of Teletron 2, or you get whatever the show is that Mikey's doing. And you also get the Moonbase Woo Woo, where we talk about non-Transformery things in more detail. And I need to get Season 4 of Stargate SG-1 recorded for that. Back to the questions or messages. Don't worry, Andy. We know where to find you, and we will. That threat is noted. Mr. White goes, not TF, Transformers, but do you think Dark Tide has the hype to genuinely break into the bigger sphere of popular video games? I would have said before yesterday, Mr. White, no. I would have said no, but yesterday, watching Mr. Jason play it live on stream, and hearing from him how many people are apparently playing it and how popular the closed beta was, maybe it will. Maybe when if the open beta, if the open beta for Dark Tide is out, and it gets as much notice on Twitch as it did for the closed beta, I could see that happening. It's because it's one of those simple games, which is, it's not like Vermintide. Vermintide was, it was Left 4 Dead, but it was mostly melee focused, right? So people were like, fantasy. No one likes fantasy, which is the sad truth of the matter, generally speaking. Most people don't give a shit about fantasy compared to the much harder love for, I get a gun and I get to shoot things in space. I love guns and I love shooting things in space. I'll do it, baby. I'll do it. So maybe because the setting is a bit more futuristic-y, it might have a bit more of a main appeal to it that way. And you can also hit the fact that I'm not sure how well Left 4 Dead styled games, that kind of game has done since. Like Back 4 Blood. Back 4 Blood was meant to be the new Left 4 Dead, right? It was done by the Left 4 Dead people, but I don't really hear people talking about it a huge amount. But maybe they are. Maybe they are, and I'm just not running in the right circles. But generally speaking, I would like to see Warhammer break into more of a community, get more people involved in the lore. Do I think this will get more people interested in Warhammer? I don't know if they'll care about the lore. They might care about the game, but they might not care about the lore. It's 40k Left 4 Dead. What's not to love? Yeah, I mean, the fact that you can play it on Twitch and play it with friends as well. The co-op element is definitely something that, a lot of people are going to enjoy. Yeah, it's got all the big 40k guns. Luton and Bricky praising it. But more mainstream streamers are loving the Doom feed. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Unfortunately, like Luton and Bricky, people who are in the Warhammer community watch their videos. I don't think you get Joe Jockstrap coming in and being like, yo, give me those sick lore, like 3-hour-long lore videos about Warhammer 40k, which is a shame because they're very good videos. Luton has a very soothing voice, and Bricky has a nice frantic editing style, like a very, very high-paced feel to his videos, which I enjoy. Though obviously Bricky does stuff that's not just Warhammer as well. He does other streams, not streams. He does other videos on games as well. Note, not just those two, but good example. No, 100. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Mr. White. But yeah, a lot of people are gonna like that kind of just heavy. I'm not sure it's a Doom feel. I kind of think I know what you mean by the Doom feel, just because of the oppressive atmosphere and all the dead dudes running at you, but it doesn't have the arcadey feeling of Doom, of the Doom games, in terms of that, but definitely the Left 4 Dead feeling. I'm interested to see it. I want to get it. I have to hope that I'll have the money for it. There's so many things that are coming out like soon or are out now that I'd love to have the money for, but I just don't. Oh man. I've still got to get to Games Workshop as well to get a free Curse City mini as well. I haven't had time yet. I need to make sure I do that. If you or a friend of yours has a Games Workshop near you, you should go in and get a free Warhammer mini as well. They will apparently make you stay in the store to build the miniature there. But I don't think they force you to paint it there. I don't know. And if you don't want an undead miniature, you can get it and send it to me. I'll have it. Because the Curse City undead minis are neat. And you can't really get most of them anywhere else. So, yeah. I'll happily take any undead miniatures off your hands. Easy peasy. Right, I think that'll have to do us. Oh, hang on. We got another message from Big Swing and D. Know what you mean. The Gundam Witch from Mercury kits are crippling me for the next few months. Dude, it sounds like you're buying everything. You've got like you got the giant Black Zarek. You've got the Witch from Mercury kits. You've got the Warhammer stuff coming to you. Damn, son, make me jealous, man. You make me jealous with all your things. I'd like to get the Witch of Mercury stuff, Gundam kits. I think I'm gonna basically try to never buy another model kit again. I'm gonna try and never buy a model kit again because I'm realizing that I'm just building them and currently bagging them in plastic bags and putting them in a bin. And the bad thing about model kits is you can't really sell them, you know? Once you've built them, you're fucked. No one wants to buy a pre-built model kit, really. Like, I've got a few, pre-built kits, kits I've built. I'm like, I can't do anything with these. And they're not even good kits. What do I do with you? I just look at you. In the bag and in the box you go. It's kind of a shame. So I'm thinking, just maybe I never buy them ever again, and that'll probably be the best. But there is a shockingly large number of folks who try to, at least on eBay. Oh yeah, I've seen people try and sell pre-built kits, and it's like, oh okay. I'm not sure how. If you sell a pre-built kit that's been painted very very well, I get that. I understand that, right? Because that's given a level of polish that, Joe McGubbins, who might not care about, painting and that stuff, won't do. If you're just talking about someone who just builds the kit, and just throws it online and be like, yeah, you buy it off me. I'm like, oh, who does that? Who buys a pre-built model kit? I don't know. Not for me. Anyway, folks, I apologize. This has been a short episode, but like I say, we've had nothing in terms of news stories to talk about. It's just been me on my own, and the chat came in to have a little talk with me, which I do appreciate. Thank you, chat. Thank you, everybody, for coming on by. I hope you have a very good day, good evening, or a good night. Remember, I will be back on Tuesday for streaming. We will be back next week for a Moonbase 2 episode, where we'll be talking, hopefully, about some interesting news, and hopefully I'll have a guest on. That's the plan and the dream. Until next time, everybody, thanks for coming on by, and I'll see you suckers next time. Bye-bye, everybody! Bye-bye! And I'll end the recording there. Boom. Yeah, thanks, guys, for coming. Like I say, sorry it's been a quickie tonight, but I can't make the news stories. And I don't think that, like, the news stories were not even, like, news stories that had a lot of girth to them, right? There wasn't even anything that cool to the news stories. They were just kind of meh. No, not the border. There we go. Yeah, they're just kind of meh news stories. But yeah, like I say, chat, I will be back on Tuesday. We'll be playing Total War Warhammer with Daddy. And on Wednesday, we'll be getting back to Neo. So until then, thanks, guys, for coming on by. And hopefully I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Yeah.